Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm gonna be answering your guys' questions. I know I did one of these recently, but today it's gonna be a lot more juicy. Let's just get started. Who are all of these guys behind the scenes? That is just all of my men. I'm literally just kidding. It's my friend. He's been traveling with me for about 3 years now. But I find it really funny that this comment like insinuates that I just have all of these men just around me at all times. What is a ladyboy? Isn't that an offensive term? I got this so many times on one of my previous videos where I talked about ladyboys. Apparently it's not an offensive term. I thought the same thing. If you ask a ladyboy what they want to be called, they will straight up tell you ladyboy. If you call them a woman, they're not happy. If you call them a man, they're not happy. They don't like being called transgender either. They're just ladyboys. And as far as what is a ladyboy, they're a person. Crazy, I know. What was the hardest video to film? Boy, oh my goodness. The video where I took a stranger, like convinced a stranger to spend a day with me, that was Michael. He's a good friend of mine now. The reason why it was difficult was because all of the planning before and the fact that I had to stand in the middle of town square basically with a sign, a creepy like basically kidnap sign saying like be in YouTube video, get free tour of Chorus Hour. There had to have been like 3,000 people that walked past me, I'm not even kidding, and gave me dirty looks, or people like whispering under their breath like, yeah, that's a good way to get kidnapped. It was very humiliating, and I stood out there for 2 days. First day I stood out there for like 4 hours and literally no one bit. Like everyone was just like, that is freaking creepy. Which honestly I can't blame them, like makes sense I guess. But yeah, so that was just really difficult to even find a person in the first place. But once I found Michael and he was a great sport and very willing to make the video, it was super easy from then. Have I ever been with a ladyboy? No, I have not. Also, that's a highly personal question, just saying. I told you guys it's juicy. Well, it's actually not that juicy because my answer is literally no. This one was really good. Do I ever feel unsafe while filming? I had to really think about this one. At first I was like, no, not at all. But actually, yes, I certainly do sometimes. For example, I recently went down the street that is known for nightlife in Bangkok. It's called Soy Cowboy. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going, oh yeah, I'm familiar with that. It's the party street at nighttime. There are women popping ping pong balls out of their posteriors. I'm not even kidding. Like, seeing how far they can shoot across the room. It's a thing, okay? But I was walking down the street and I was thinking about filming, but it made me nervous, especially with my big bulky camera, because there's a lot of people doing illegal things, not bad, I don't really know how to explain it, like sniffing substances just out in the open, selling themselves on the side of the road. Like, no, they're not blatantly hurting anyone, but also they're not doing legal activities. So I don't want to just be pulling out my camera, recording everyone. I feel like that's a good way to get my camera like smacked out of my hand. So yes, in situations like that, no, I do not feel safe recording. I'm thinking about recording a video there in the future just to like kind of give a tour of what it's about, but I'll definitely do it in a more discreet way, probably off my phone. I got this question so many times. Was the scary Tuk Tuk driver actually scary, or was I just being over dramatic? I won't lie, I can be over dramatic at times. I think really anyone can, but he was really scary. If you're not familiar with what happened in one of my previous videos, I got on a Tuk Tuk driver's Tuk Tuk. He was driving me back to my hotel and then took a bunch of wrong turns and took me down this dark road, like alley thing, and then pulled over and then got out and was like trying to solicit me with like a bunch of things, okay? And yes, I was legitimately scared. I don't know who wouldn't be in that situation. You're telling me you'd be fine in that situation? I didn't know if he could pull out like a thingy, a pew pew, yeah, you know what I mean? And be like, yo, go into this freaking building right here. So yes, I was genuinely scared. That's kind of the reason why I also didn't record at that time, because like it's not the first thing on your mind when you think that you could have your organs harvested any minute now. This is a good question. Have I ever been attacked by a monkey? No, I have not, but I know people that have. I actually know quite a few people that have. For example, my parents visited recently and we did a road trip around Thailand, and we went to a bunch of like remote towns that don't really get a lot of tourists, and we were the only white people that I saw in this town. Only reason why I mention that is because it pertains to the story. So we're walking down the street and my mom really likes the monkeys like any other tourist would. So she's like looking at them from across the street, and they're up in the power lines, up on buildings, up on like terraces on people's houses. And my mom was holding like a slushie that she just bought. And as she's walking down the street, the monkeys up in the power lines are like literally stalking us and looking at my mom's slushie. And all of a sudden they come running down the power lines across the street and they jump, I feel bad laughing, and they jump on my mom's back. And this whole day I had been giving my mom lessons on what to do if you do get attacked by a monkey, because you're not supposed to make eye contact, don't scream, because they might not have bad intentions just because they're on you, so you don't want to freak them out or else they really could hurt you. So my mom's trying to avoid eye contact, going like this as it's hanging from her back. She's trying not to scream, and it's trying to get her drink in her hand. And also my friend had a drink in his hand and there was one on his leg. So both my mom and my friend just dropped their drinks and we just walked away, and the monkeys just sat there enjoying their slushies. And the reason why I said that the white people comes into play later is because the locals completely not bothered by monkeys at all. I saw street carts just chilling there, making food, flipping pancakes. The monkeys do absolutely nothing. Obviously there's locals walking around with like bags of food. Monkeys do nothing. They see a white person walking around with some food, go and attack them. I think that monkeys are honestly intelligent enough to know that you are out of place and that you are probably an easy victim. Is healthcare expensive in Thailand? Boy, I have a story for this one. It depends on what country you are coming from, but if you're from the United States, no, it is not expensive. It is actually quite affordable. For example, I had my first panic attack. This is incredibly embarrassing, but I'll tell you the story. In a mall. I was dehydrated, apparently that's what triggered it, and I literally thought I was dying. I went to the hospital and they did all these tests, like used all these machines and stuff on my chest and like monitored my heart, did all kinds of crazy things. I got the bill, 40 bucks. Done. And that's without insurance. They did not use my insurance. It's still more than I would like to spend for a panic attack, but at least I was safe and knew everything was good. Do I have an Onlyfans? Well, does this answer your question? If you're still confused, yes, I do have one. Link is in the description. What do Ladyboys do? They work. There's like this weird misconception among people that Ladyboys are like just strictly sex work. Like they're people. They have normal jobs. They can become like doctors, lawyers, television personalities, singers. But yes, there is a percentage that becomes workers. They also do a ton of other jobs. I think that's what you were asking. Why don't I make more gay content? First off, what exactly is gay content? Like just twinks or something? And the reason is because I personally feel like I have more to offer the world. Yes, being gay makes a big part of my identity. It affects who I can marry, it affects how I can have children, but there's also way more to me. I like science, I like traveling, I like history, I just like learning in general, I like making entertaining content for people. I just have other interests, so that's why I don't make gay content. I hope that answered your question. Why don't I give travel advice for the places that I go? Mainly because that's not really what my content revolves around. I just like showing you guys me like doing cool things and like the activities that are in an area rather than the actual planning process. But I do have one great tip, that's two. One great tip if you are curious. My tip is downloading Surfshark, which is a virtual private network that lets you trick your device into thinking you are anywhere in the world. And I mean anywhere, because they have over 3,200 servers in over 100 countries. I'm sure you're wondering, like, how exactly does this help me? Like I said, the VPN allows you to trick your phone, computer, literally TV into thinking you're anywhere in the world. This is great when it comes to trying to book hotels or train tickets or plane tickets online. Reason being is that when you're trying to book online, the website has a very sneaky tactic and they can track your location of where you're looking from and change the prices accordingly. For example, let's say that I'm in the UK looking for a hotel room online. While looking, I notice that the prices are quite high. All that I have to do is go onto Surfshark and connect to another country. Let's just say the US, for example. And now I can watch the prices fall. The reason that this works is basically supply and demand. If you're in the UK looking for hotels in the UK, the website can see that, they know that you're in desperate need, and they'll raise the prices. But if the website thinks that you're browsing from across the world, they know that you're not in as desperate need, and they'll lower the prices to entice you. So that's great and all, but that's not where the perks stop. Surfshark can also protect your online identity by literally making you anonymous to whatever Wi-Fi you're connected to, because believe it or not, if you're using public Wi-Fi, anyone else connected to that Wi-Fi can tap into your information. And I'm talking like banking information, things that you don't want people having. You know those little messages from the IRS that say like 10 grand has been stolen from your bank account? Yeah, probably last time you were at Starbucks. But if you were to use Surfshark and turn it on, it literally puts up a wall between you and whoever else is using that Wi-Fi. So they no longer have access to your information. Surfshark is a great tool, and honestly, I would not sell you guys something that I personally did not use on a daily basis and highly believe in. I'm telling you, it is, I don't know a better tip that I could give you guys besides like research if a country's safe before you go. Like that's about it. But lucky for you guys, Surfshark is giving my audience an 83% discount and 3 months for free if you use my code EthanTravels at checkout. And also they offer a 30-day money back guarantee, so if you don't like it, you can always get your money back. So there's really no risk in trying it out. But thank you so much to Surfshark for sponsoring this video and for providing online privacy for everyone. I'm telling you guys, if you don't have Surfshark, you're missing out. Why don't I scuba dive anymore? Well, a few reasons. I haven't really been like near water recently, so I haven't really had the chance to go scuba diving. And also the last time I went scuba diving, I had a scary experience. A quick lesson about the safety of scuba diving. Basically, once you get past a certain point diving, you can't just swim back up to the surface if there's an issue. Reason being, there's nitrogen in your blood when you're underwater, and if you go up too quickly, those nitrogen bubbles will expand and then literally burst your blood vessels and kill you. Like within minutes. The thought that kept popping into my head is, what if like I got my arm ripped off by a shark or something? We're 60 feet underwater and now I have to wait 10 minutes to slowly make my way up to the surface while I'm literally bleeding out. I can't just swim up as quick as possible. One experience that I had, I was at 60 feet and I was using way more oxygen than everyone else around me. And the other thing is that when you're underwater, you can't just say like, yo, what's up? By the way, I'm running out of oxygen. You have to get people's attention. You can't talk. So you are betting that people will look at you and you can go like this because you use a lot of sign language. That means I'm out of oxygen. But if your instructor isn't looking at you, which my instructor kept swimming away from me and not looking at me while I'm running out of oxygen, that freaked me out, that I literally couldn't tell her that I needed to go up. And also during that trip, I remember my instructor was like, well, it's gonna be a slight current under the water. The current was so freaking strong. I was under there 40 feet. I know you're not supposed to do this, but I had no choice. I was on the ground, like rock climbing, but horizontally on the ground, just going from rock to rock, which is extremely dangerous because I could have hit a stonefish because there were tons of them where I was. Stonefish, if you don't know, are the most venomous fish literally in the world. You're gonna die in minutes basically if you touch one. But I was grabbing on rocks because I was gonna be swept into the freaking ocean. It was scary, okay? I might be being over dramatic, but I probably will go back scuba diving sometime soon. How did I lose all of the weight? Now, I'm not sure if this is a question or an insult. Thanks. But just by being more active and eating healthier, basically. How do I live in Thailand for so long? I have a student visa. Woohoo. Pompen Nakrian Pomrian Pasatayu Kap. Where do I live? Somewhere from here all the way down to here. Make your best guess. Do mean comments ever hurt my feelings? Yes, of course they do. I'd honestly say I've gotten better at dealing with them, and honestly, I don't really read mean comments that often. I don't even think that I really get that many. If anything, I get constructive criticism, which is perfectly fine. But I would say earlier in my YouTube, I used to get just like blatantly mean comments. There was this one guy, his name was Richie Rich, I remember. If you're watching, bruh, he would say the nastiest things on my videos. I remember one time, like I gained a little bit of weight. Who friggin' cares? He decided to comment on one of my videos, like, yeah, no wonder why your views are down since you're fat and no one wants to watch anymore. That like hurt my feelings so bad, but that was like 2 years ago. So it's been a hot minute, but since him, I don't really get that many rude comments. That was a long spiel, I'm sorry. Are there any videos that I've made that I absolutely hate? Boy, probably I can't really think of any off the top of my head, but that is a good question. There have been videos that I've deleted or privated over time just because I didn't really like how it went, or I didn't really think that it was my best video that I could have made, if that makes sense. I didn't like the editing or something, or it was rushed or something along those lines. Yes, there are certainly videos that I don't like, but there's nothing that I like really regret or wish I didn't post. Anyway guys, thank you so much for submitting your questions. They were very interesting on one hand and very thoughtful on the other. It really made me think about my own content and just, that's really it actually. It really made me think about my content. Before I go, I would also like to say a big thank you to everyone who supports the channel on Patreon. Because of you, I'm able to continue making content and show you all of the beautiful places that the world has to offer. And there's a lot of them. I've only done a few. So thank you guys so very much for making that possible. I greatly appreciate it. And an extra special thank you goes to Peter Nguyen, Sir, Brian Butterfield, Robert Swan, Eric Fast, Michael Posh, Scott Sweaters, and Britt Saunders. If you would like to join, all of that information is in the description, along with other ways that you can support the channel if you would like. But I think that that is all that I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you liked the video. Peace out. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Wait, I need to show you guys something. Wait, stop. Stop everything. Oh my God, candle. This one's off center and that really bothers me. Okay, look at this. It's gonna spin, watch. It's spinning. It's powered by the fire. Isn't that so cool? These are the kind of knickknacks I have on my desk. They just entertain me.